Hello everyone, welcome back to Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. My name is Tara. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. You know you're already part of the what? Grateful gang, grateful gang, grateful gang, grateful gang. And if you're not a part of Grateful Gang, we would love to have you. Just hit that red subscribe button or the subscribe button to make it red, whatever it is nowadays. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're following and you noticed you're not getting my videos, please go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified when I drop a video. So I don't want this video to be entirely too long, trying to keep it in that 15-20 minute range. But I just want to have a conversation with you guys about some things that I have been thinking about lately. We're going into 2024, and I hope that you have not given up on the goals that you have set at the beginning of the year. I will drop in there that I think the 12-week year honestly is something to consider, where you break your goals down into 12-week increments rather than making one overall goal for the year. It does keep goals at top of your mind, but this is not what that video is about. If you read the title, you already know this video is about having a relationship with yourself and regaining self-trust. And this honestly is a perspective from a perfectionist. I have always been a perfectionist, and unfortunately, it is something that stops me in a lot of things that I do. So if you're interested in hearing any of that, stay tuned. Honestly, in the end, we only have ourselves, right? We have family, we have friends, and we have God. So if you believe in God, obviously we have God. But in the end, on an everyday basis, we can only really rely on ourselves and God, right? Because people can have things to do, people can be busy. But have you ever thought about, so we're always worried about our relationship with other people. We're worried about keeping mommy happy, daddy happy, sisters happy, friends happy, best friends happy, workers happy, co-workers happy, bosses happy. But do we ever take the time to think about keeping ourselves happy? So I'm going to start now. You guys know I'm a believer, and if you're not a believer, I think you should still watch this video, but I am going to start it with a Bible verse, and I'm going to read it for you really quick, and it is Mark 12:30-31. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor and yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Okay? That was an NIV version. Okay, definitely you can read it in any other version or whatever version of the Bible you read if you read the Bible. So I'm going to start off with that. And please don't click off the channel. It's not going to be very Christian content. It's just where I'm starting because I am a believer. But the line I want to focus on is the second in this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. If you don't, we all know we need to love the Lord, right? But he also commands us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. The truth is, how are you going to love your neighbor like you love yourself if you don't actually love yourself? Meaning to me that the most important relationship is with yourself. And I have started to be a goal from when I started thinking about this all the way into years and years. I do feel like this is an ongoing process, that you have to learn to love yourself, but you also have to be very self-aware. You need to realize what you're doing to yourself before you're able to actually love yourself and fix the things that you may be doing incorrectly. Let me also say, this is my opinion. I don't know what you do. I don't know what your self-love journey is like. This is just how I'm feeling, and I felt moved to share it with you. Okay, so if you don't love yourself, you already have a problem because you can't really love your neighbor. Let me give you quickly one of the definitions of relationship. The way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave toward each other. So today the group is me, myself, and I. How do I treat me? How do I behave towards myself? For me, 3 important parts of having a good relationship. 1 being communication. How do you communicate with yourself? Do you say mean things to yourself? Do you call yourself stupid even when it's a joke? It's not a joke, because words become thoughts and thoughts become things. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Be careful of what you say to yourself, because the more you say these things to yourself, the more the wires in your brain connect and they become who you are. Speak kindly to yourself. Be nice to yourself. If someone else called you stupid, you'd have a problem with it. So why are you allowed to call yourself stupid? You're not creating an atmosphere of a trusting, loving relationship in yourself if you're speaking to yourself negatively. I will say I have gotten a lot better at this. This is one of the first things I became aware of when going on this journey with myself. I try very hard not to say anything negative to myself. And if I say something negative, I try quickly to self-correct. So that's just one of the things I would tell you to consider. Give yourself grace the same way that you would give someone else grace. If you have done something, do you beat yourself down? Oh my God, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. I know I shouldn't have done that. I'm such a loser. I can't do anything right. Do you hear me saying that? Would you allow me to talk to your child like that? Would you allow me to talk to your mother or your father like that? Then why is it okay to talk to yourself like that? Give yourself grace. And if you did do something that you didn't like or didn't want or shouldn't have done, figure out the root cause as to why you've done it. Why did you do that thing? How can you change it in the future and move forward? Dwelling in the past and beating ourselves up does not solve anything. It just causes us to go into spirals of stress, and for me, overeating and binging and, not trusting myself enough to do what I said I was going to do, right? So moving on to the next thing that I think is very important in relationships. The next thing is trust. And for me, if I'm in a relationship, trust and loyalty are very big to me, along with communication. If I can't trust myself, then who can I trust? Okay? And I'm talking about in things like, and I'll give you examples of me. In budgeting, I said I'm not going to spend this money. I go and spend it anyway. I said I'm not going to eat chips. I go and eat them anyway. This to me is provoking an atmosphere of allowing myself not to trust myself, because myself now is going to be like, she says she's going to do it, but she's really not going to do it. So why do we even try to do it anyway? And we don't realize this is happening, but it's going to happen, because when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, maybe the first or second time your mind will say, we'll keep trying. But if you keep doing it, at some point your mind's going to be like, she's not going to do it anyway. We shouldn't even bother to try, right? And think about it this way. If a friend of yours said to you, I'm going to go out, I'm going to come pick you up at 7 o'clock and we're going out to eat. Cool, you get dressed, you're ready. I'm going out, right? 7 o'clock comes, the person doesn't show up, they don't call, they don't have a valid excuse. They're not sick. They didn't text you. They didn't let you know. They just didn't show up. So maybe you're a wonderful person and you say, okay.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
Maybe that was a one-time thing. You finally reached out to them again, something happened or nothing happened and they just didn't show up. But you said, okay, they're my friend. I'm going to do it again. Next day, next time, same thing happens. How long are you really going to be friends with that person? How much do you now trust that person? Or is it going to be like Sheila said, we were going out, but I'm not even going to get dressed until she calls me because she don't ever show up. And I honestly feel like that's what starts to happen in our own self-worth and self-thinking in our own mind. It's like, oh, Tara says she's going to lose the weight, but she never shows up for herself, so why are we going to try? Okay. You guys, comment down below what are some things that are very important to you in relationships that you can add to this conversation. I would really like to know. So And I might do a live on this later on in the channel if there's a lot of comments in the bottom. So the last thing I'm going to mention is respect. I cannot be in a relationship where people don't respect me, my time, my energy, my effort, okay? And that's the same thing with my relationship for myself. I need to respect my time, my energy, my effort that I put in. Just like if I say I'm going to wake up at 5:30. I need to respect that time that I said I'm waking up 5:30, so I need to get up at 5:30 because there needs to be a reason strong enough as to why I'm doing that. So I can't just say, oh, I'm getting up at 5:30. Why? Why are you getting up at 5:30? Because everybody and their mama is getting up at 5:30? Because the motivational man told you to do so? Because your best friend gets up at 5:30? No, you need to sit down. You need to think about why it is that you want to get up at 5:30. Why should your time and your energy be invested in getting up a little earlier? If that's something, I'm just giving an example of things that I would want to do, right? And I had to sit down and think to myself, like, as much as y'all know, if you watch my vlogs on my other channel, y'all know that I love a good slow life situation, okay? I love a good slow life situation where I just get up and, meditate and pray and shower and skincare. And then it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's say it's 2. Okay, sis, but when are you going to meal prep? Do your budget video, get yourself ready for work. So those things are very important as well. And maybe a little bit more important than all the slow time, not the God time, but the slow time. So then to me, it says, okay, Tara, and I don't want to give up either. So that means to me, Tara, you need to get up a little bit earlier. And those will be my whys because I want to have that slow time with God. I want to have that slow time with me. I want to have that downtime, but I also have things I need to get done on Sunday or Saturday to make my week a better week. So figuring out your why in those situations. But the thing is, if you keep telling yourself you're going to do it and not do it, you're not respecting your time. You're not respecting yourself. Now, let me say this also. Failure is to be expected. Giving up is not an option. You don't know how many times I've tried to get up early and it didn't work out. But that doesn't mean I stopped trying. You don't know how many times I've tried to lose weight, even lost some and gained it back. That doesn't mean I stopped trying. Because I'm not trying to tell myself that I'm not able to do anything. At some point, you give yourself the message that you are not worthy or you are not able to do what you say you can do. And honestly, with God, all things are possible. So if He's on your team, you can do whatever you want to do. Even better than you thought you could. So those are my 3 points of things that in relationships were important to me and 3 things that I'm working on with myself. Communication, trusting, and respect. All right. So let's talk about some ways that you can make this work in your life or be more self-aware. First off, you need to be aware of the issue. You need to be, is it me? Hi.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
Is it you? Is it you? Are you the problem? Are you not fulfilling things? Because honestly, who else can it be? Right? First, be aware that it's you. Then you need to believe that you can fix it. It doesn't make sense to talk through all this and then you actually don't think you can do something. Rewire your mind to think you can do something, whether that means giving yourself affirmation every single morning.
Love you. Don't hit people. Don't hit people. Love you. Yes, sir.
You're above and not beneath, that you can do all things. That I can lose weight, that I am a healthy person, that I can save money. Whatever it is. Start rewiring your brain to think that you can get these things that you want done, and believe that you can get them done. Okay? First. And then I want you to do a challenge. I don't care how many days. I want you 5, 10, do it in increments of 5, 10, 15, 20, do 30. That would be perfect. Set something to do for 30 days measure it on a calendar so you can check off that you've done it, and do it for the 30 days. Actually do it. Because with anything, it takes time and it takes practice. You're not going to get all of this right the first time. You might not get it right the 50th time. But the point is that you keep trying to better yourself and have a better trusting relationship with yourself, so yourself knows that it can rely on you. So pick something to do. Right now, my thing to do is weight loss. I told myself some rules for October as far as logging the meals in MyFitnessPal and doing the workouts at least 3 times a week. And I'm tracking it, and you know what? The first week sucked because the results of weight loss weren't what I thought they would be. But did I give up? No, I did not. So, and I did that on purpose because everything in the old me and the fiber of connected tissue in my brain wanted to be like, okay, girl, this is when we get to the point where we don't do it anymore. It's not working. We switch, we pivot, we do something else. No, we're not. We're going to keep doing this for the 30 days. We said we're going to do this, and we're going to do it to the best of our ability. And if you forget to track one day, you get up the next day and you track. If you did not work out 3 times 1 week, you get up next week and you try it again. That is who we're going to be on firm with ourselves, okay? We're going to have some discipline. We're going to have some self-awareness. We're going to have some self-control. Okay? Fruits of the Spirit, baby. Okay, because with all those things, we can have peace and we can have joy, because I promise you, I've noticed this with other things that I've done, is that once you start to get on a roll, you start to feel better. The more you do it, the more you realize it can be done. Like, I wanted chips, not that I'm stopped the chips, but there was time I had to drive all the way from work to home telling myself no to chips. And when I drove past this, I was like, girl, all you have to do is drive. Once I drove past the store and got home, I was so proud of myself because I said no, and I did what I said I was going to do. So that is something I want you to try. 5, 10, 15, 20. I would love for you to do 30 days. Do something. Promise yourself you're going to do something, and you will do it. And once you realize you keep doing these small increments of things, you'll realize you can do anything. Okay? Just know that Galatians, I'm going to read it from here, 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And anything we're doing to self-improve ourselves is doing good. So do not give up, because in the proper time you will reap your harvest. Do not give up, y'all. Don't give up on yourself. All right? So the next thing I want you to do is think about, do you spend time with yourself? Y'all know I don't have no problems with this. And a lot of my introverts probably don't have any problems with this, but I don't have a problem in the world with this. I love my time. I love my company. I could sit by myself and meditate for hours, okay? But I also want you to think about, when you say you don't mind being by yourself, are you by yourself, or are you scrolling on the computer? On your cell phone? Are you watching Netflix? Are you actually able to be by yourself in silence for a little bit without your mind going crazy, or you start talking crazy to yourself, or, you know? And if you can't answer yes to, like, I could just sit here and be by myself and chill out by myself and just read a book, or not even read, or just sit for, like, just say 30 minutes with no scrolling, no YouTube, no internet, nothing, no Netflix, no TV. If you can honestly say that, then you might be good, because I'm good. Like, I'm good with that. That's something I'm good with, right? I could just sit by myself. And if you can't, try to take away the distractions, because those distractions are probably taking you away from something that you do need to be aware of. Work through those things, the healing and anxiety or whatever you need to work through. It will make you a better person. It will build your self-trust with yourself and your relationships. I'll tell you guys, I am a perfectionist, which here is my issue. My issue is that because I'm a perfectionist, I will try to make a decision. First of all, making a decision, honey, it's just, whew. I will try to make a decision on something, then decide I was going to do something, and then I get into analysis paralysis. I get so stuck in analyzing every which way that it could have went right, left, upside down, wrong, everything, that I never do it. I never do it. And I'm trying to train my mind to trust myself, that if I have this idea, That if the Holy Spirit told me to do something, if I don't want to do it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. Just do it. Be obedient. Do what you say you're going to do. It doesn't matter if you get it all right at the first time, the second time, the third time. This, like I said, is something I'm still working through. Please leave me down a comment on something you're still working through with yourself, and, learning to trust yourself with certain things. What is one of the things that you're working through? So that I'm sharing with you because I want you to share with me. Yeah. So like I was saying, see if you're able to sit by yourself for a while. And if you can't, try to think about why that is. Do you feel the need to always be on the phone with somebody, calling somebody? You just can't be by yourself? Are you dependent on other relationships? Because the truth is, if you can't have a relationship by yourself and it takes someone else or something else to make you happy, you're not really contributing to someone else's relationship. You're just relying on someone else to keep you happy. And that's not a fair relationship. Yeah, we don't want those kind of relationships. So we have to learn to do nice things for ourselves. We don't want to go into a relationship with others not really knowing what we want or knowing what makes us happy. It makes for a very one-sided relationship where we rely on other people to make us happy. That's why, especially if you're single, or even if you're not, you can still do this. You use that single season to find out what makes you happy. Do nice things for yourself. If you like flowers, buy yourself the flowers. If you like movies, go to the movies by yourself. If you like to eat like me, go and eat. Go eat by yourself. Try new restaurants. And it'll make it a better you in a relationship, because when your boyfriend, husband turns to you and say, hey, what is it that you want to eat today? You don't have to be the typical chick that's like, oh, I don't know, which is me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you these things because these are things that I also need to work on. But like, I should be able to be like, oh, I feel like having Thai, and I can recommend some place because I've gone to these places and I know that is something that I really, truly do enjoy. Because why do you feel that you can require something from someone else that you're not giving to yourself? You know what I mean? I'm going to go into a relationship and require this person to take me on dates, but I don't take myself on dates. I'm going to require this person to buy me flowers, but I don't buy myself flowers. I'm going to require this person to take me to expensive restaurants, and I'm going to require this person to spend time with myself, but I don't spend time with me, but I don't spend time with myself. That doesn't even sound right, So, like I said, the most important relationship is the one that you have with you. And the better and stronger your relationship of yourself is with yourself, you will find that the stronger and better your relationship with others are, because you get to contribute to the relationships rather than relying on the relationships. All right, reclaim your time. Reclaim your time. The other day I was sitting here watching TV and I was like, girl, you really could be doing something that is more beneficial to you in your life. But instead you're sitting here scrolling. Well, I wasn't scrolling because y'all know I deleted Instagram and just recently put it back on. But I could be sitting there watching Netflix, the TV, YouTube for hours. I should have been editing a video. I need to reclaim my time. Anyway, guys, I don't want this video to be any longer. You honestly are your most important relationship. I just want you to put those things out there for you to think about, for you to try a 30-day challenge of promising yourself you're going to do something and get it done. Same thing with your budgets. If you say you're going to do it, I'm not too much into the no spend anymore. I feel like it provides way too much anxiety for me personally. Like, I'm down with the low spend. For me, a low spend works because you're thinking about the things, but you're not depriving yourself fully. Do whatever works for you, fam. Honestly, that is just my personal opinion. But, it could be just like I'm only eating out twice a week. If that's something so because you want to save some money. Or I'm going to save $5 from my cash envelope system, variable system every week, just to have a little bit for me. Whatever it may be, just some things to think about. It always starts from your mindset. It starts from within. So just repair and work on repairing, like I am, my relationship in myself and trusting myself, others, because love your neighbor as you love yourself means You got to love yourself, or else you're not going to know how to love your neighbor. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Remember, in order to be great, you have to be grateful. I'm super duper grateful for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Remember, it's faith over fear this year, and not just this year, but what? Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever, Bye. Jazz hands. You can do it. With God, all things are possible, baby.